Hey everybody! Welcome to another episode of Who's That Anime with your host Stephen Collins. We're charging forward as always to see the end of Chargeman Ken.
Still charging.
I mean, it couldn't come quicker.
I mean, we are going to be charging for a while.
I've essentially started watching them as fast as humanly possible.
So I am injecting these directly into my veins to just get that shit over with.
Just plug it into my veins.
There
Burn.
are I don't know if we've talked about this before. There are 65 episodes of this, which is a total of 13 episodes of the podcast.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So right now I think we're recording episode 5. We still have 8 more of these to go.
Yeah, episode 5 because we're up to going 21 to 25 today.
Yes, that's right. Episode 21 to start with, which is Karen's Present. I kind of like this one, Colin. There's a lot to be confused about, as always.
Oh God, yeah, yeah.
This one starts off with everyone in the house, and the doorbell rings, and a package is delivered.
Mm-hmm.
And they open it, and it's a doll
For
for Karen.
yeah, and then they comment there's no return address on it, and it's kind of weird. No, don't know who sent it. But it's fine. It's also a fan.
That the words exactly are disturbing. It's clearly a fan of my tiny daughter. Uh, you know,
No, I
um,
mean that's hard because she's so pretty.
there's so much to hate about this. Also, the fact that they just kind of don't worry about it. It's like, yeah, I'll be fine. Will it?
Oh,
Will it?
I think, I think. So, we'll just see how it goes. Type thing.
You definitely don't have a band of murderous aliens that their whole intent is to just kill everyone on the earth constantly after you. And from previous episodes, know where you live.
Oh, 100% know where you live. I mean, it was like episode 2.
Yep, they were just right outside his house going.
Or wait a minute. I agree with this. Yeah. Anyway, so she gets it
Oh,
and
yeah.
then starts acting a bit weird.
So basically,
I mean,
she goes to sleep, and the doll goes to sleep with her.
yeah.
Then, then the doll wakes up, which is not a thing that should happen.
No, that didn't happen right now because she's like, Barracan's like, oh, you want to play with me? He's like, no, I'm going to play with the doll,
Jane,
Jane. And then all right,
Jane the Geralian doll. Not to spoil anything.
and then he's like, oh, it's always with Jane, and then I think then he goes to sleep, and then Ken hears her screaming. He goes, oh, that's Karen, and he runs in, and like they're both sleeping. It's like, okay, maybe it's not, and then she wakes up and goes, are you ready, or are we? Yeah, I think like, are you ready? And then Jane wakes up and goes, yes, and then just like she just chomps on her neck, drains her blood or something.
It's wild. It's wild. Like she just kind of goes,
Yeah, like a weird vampire doll.
yeah. And then after that, the parents are like, yeah, she seems really sick. It's like,
Maybe
yeah, she's got no fucking blood left, guys.
yeah, she seems pale and skinnier. Maybe she go
Yeah,
to see a doctor, and then the fire creeps on and goes, I am a doctor.
he does. He does do that. And not a very good one, apparently, because
Can't be that good.
not a good father or doctor. Turns out.
Yeah. So Ken goes like, "Oh, I'll keep an eye on her," and then he's spying through the keyhole in the door, and
Uh, then Karen somehow miraculously is up out of the bed and at the window, opening that all of a sudden, and then is also 2 magical seconds later outside with the mother, walking into the forest.
yeah, she jumps out the window, But don't forget that Ken gets knocked out by the doll by
Yeah, but like,
a good metal bar that she has and just whacks him on
yeah,
the back of the head.
it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
He like that. You get two real weaknesses. Well, three real weaknesses. Is one is maths. One is his inability to attack anything that's not a Duralian. And three is, well, a metal pole to the back of your head. It turns out
That's- Most people are weak to that.
pretty big weakness.
Yeah. He's not wearing his helmet at that point.
No, he also did duck from that bullet in that other episode, so it does suggest that he's possibly not bulletproof either.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
Okay, there's a lot of weaknesses for someone that's not weak.
Yeah, he's just he knows how to overcome them all.
Yeah,
Calculators.
ducking. Uh, didn't help him with the metal bar.
No.
But yeah, he gets knocked out, and then the mum and Karen are tied up in the forest
Mm.
by the Geralians at this point.
I don't know they're tied up. They just kind of lying in the middle of
Lying
this
down.
forest,
Yeah.
unconscious. And yeah, the Australians are there, and so's the doll. And they're like, well done. Just need to get the rest of the family now. And then Ken appears because, what's his
Because
name?
Ken
What wakes him up?
Barakan.
Barakan wakes him up. And then Ken's there, and it's like, oh no! And he's like, woo! And they all die. And then the doll burns.
He
In
shoots
a...
the doll, and the doll goes on fire, like the record.
Yeah, yeah.
Cursed objects just burst into flames.
Oh, I mean, and disappears this one. Like, you can see it
That is
shrivel
true.
up. But then you kind of shot an alpha laser beam at it.
That is true. That is true.
So, yeah, I expect things to go on fire. I don't expect things to go fire by just, like,
Throwing them on the
kinetic
ground.
energy.
Yeah, I mean that you don't know how fast or hard they threw that record at the ground.
I don't think it's hard enough to go on
Broke
fire.
broke the sound barrier, and it shattered and melted back together in one frame, and then just burst into flames.
Spontaneously combust.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then the episode kind of ends with Ken delivering a doll to Karen and go, this is the exact same type of doll. Well, I mean, you thought that would like probably provide some PSD, pros
Remember that thing that kidnapped you?
Yeah.
Also, it's like, oh yeah, it's the exact same doll. This one will drink your blood, but it won't take you to the Duralians.
No. Bought it from a department store, this one.
Yeah. It's fine. It's all good. This one
Yeah.
definitely drinks the blood, though. Check that box.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the end of episode 21. So, oh boy. Episode 22, Time Bomb Facts TV.
Yeah, Time on Flash TV, man. That's awesome.
Oh, it's yes. Go on.
Where was the next one? Anyway, yeah. So the trailers are going. Oh, we got like our new weapon of destruction, and then they blow up an airport. But then Kang goes, "How did they do it? Because like the detection
It's
system
super
and that."
secure. It must be the Duralians. See, everything's a Duralian.
Yeah,
Everything.
yeah, everything's Julian. And then they go and visit the other part of the airport. I think it's the same
Yep.
airport. And then
Yep.
they're on the kind of like a top of a tower slash runway place.
Yep.
Futuristic place. You see, all airplanes are on top towers now. And it shakes violently. And they go, what's
Yes.
that? And then they come down and it says, oh, it just was a monitor exploding.
Yep.
And I
There's
was
a
like,
bunch of guys fixing monitors.
yeah. But like the monitor exploding is wouldn't shake an entire building.
No, it would not.
Not even not even back in the day with the cathode ray tubes, CRTs.
Nope. He at this point realizes that their plan, and I tried to memorize the phrase that he uses. He realizes that they are sending robots through fax machines to places to do bad things.
Yeah.
Yes. He says they have created cassettized robots sent via fax television.
Yeah.
It's like, right, Ken. Okay. Whatever, man. And then
Yeah.
he's like, oh, I'll go that way.
Yeah. So he's so he works this out because he's in the room where the Julians were like, right, let's act, continue act our plan, and destroy things, and the robot just materializes through a TV, essentially.
Cassettized is the word I remember.
Cassettized, yeah, I didn't read that, yeah, but I thought that was due to the bomb in it.
I mean, maybe. The word
Now,
bomb was involved in it, actually.
just
Cassettized robot bombs via fax.
something like that, yeah. He's looking over her body and it's got like it goes into the body of the thing. So he's like, right, well, I've got to do it, and then they go, oh no, it's too dangerous, Ken, but I must. So he goes
Yeah.
in.
I'm
Uh,
Chargeman Ken, goddammit.
he lays down some covering for himself, plants the bomb that was in the robot, and then teleports out again, and it
Yep.
explodes.
Yep, he murders all those things.
Yeah, and then I think they go, "Oh, that's you done it." And it's like, "No, the job's not done until we destroy the base."
And then the episode ends.
And then it ends. It's
It's
like,
just you must remember, this is when the series ends. When this thing happens, this is when it stops. Right,
yeah,
okay. Thanks, Ken.
yeah.
Thank you for the reminder.
You're not just going to continually bludgeon and kill a whole race of people.
He might do that. Um
He is.
oh boy. Episode 23. Mental Hospital Terror.
Yeah, mental hospital terror. It's. I don't think that's actually referred to the episode, but to your mental state as you
What
watch
will
the
happen to you
episode.
after? Yeah. We should I guess, like, hey, bit of a warning for you here. Maybe talk of self-harm and suicide in this episode. Just, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
warning.
yeah. This is this certainly has that. Yeah,
So this episode starts with, like, the door, this mental institution, and it opens a door to look at all of these people who are there, and they're all like, and then there's just this big, bulky, bald guy in a swimsuit
huh?
flexing, going like,
Huh?
and then that scene ends.
Yeah. Oh, they call for isekai as in Ken.
nobody nobody says anything though. Really, like, it's not important. They
Oh
just kind
no.
of go, and that's it.
Yeah, and then they open the cell a door and ask for Mr. Isekai to come,
Yeah.
and he does, and it's visiting time for Ken
Yes,
at the mental
because
hospital.
we have a lot of context here because Ken is now in the mental institution.
Yeah, and then and then Barakai is there with the dad, and
Yeah.
he started jumping around, going boo boo boo, look at me, boo 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 boo, and then the warden of the place gets really fucking gets pissed off.
He's like, I thought I told you not to bring him here again. It's like, oh yeah, sorry. He's like, woo, woo, woo. It just runs away.
And then the warden's just chasing him around, and then the dad sneaks in and like whispers to Ken, like, "How's it going, Ken?
What have you learned?
What you learned was the chief of police was chief of police assumptions right or something." He says the chief of police, and I was like,
He's like, I don't know, I'm gonna go down to the basement tonight. It's pretty much the only thing I really remember about that conversation.
"That's what happens." And then I think the warden finally catches Barakan and tells him never to
He
bring him
does.
back.
He does say, please do not bring him the next time you visit.
And he goes, "Oh, sorry." And then
Sorry.
next thing you know, he's sneaking around this mental asylum. I mean, how'd you get his room?
It's a good question.
Because like they're meant to be pretty secure, so mental
Yep.
patients don't escape.
Yeah, they did have to go and call on him from behind bars earlier on, and yeah, he just got up and about.
Yeah. And then he gets to the basement and finds an evil scientist trying to launch a rocket and destroy the world or something. Yeah.
Oh, this episode broke me.
Yeah, I can see that. If you're watching the video, you'll be able to see it too.
Oh my god, it just pained. He basically ends up Chargeman Kenning and winning. He wins. Chargeman Ken always wins.
Yeah,
But he ends up in like a one-on-one conversation with the evil scientist.
he's human.
He's human. He's like, I can't do anything about this guy. He's like, oh, don't worry about that. Just holds a gun to his head and blows his brains out.
You don't see that. You see you see the gun going to the head.
And then the noise.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: is I was watching this with my kids because I'm like, look at this shit. This is mad.
Uh-huh.
And my eldest was like, "What happened there?" I was like, "I don't actually know what's going on." And then it cuts back to Chargeman Ken, who's just clearly witnessed somebody take their own life, and he just goes like, fist pumps.
Yeah. He fist pumps it. That's all he does. He doesn't say anything. He just goes,
It's like, ugh.
get up, yeah.
Believe it? I could not believe it. Like, it's so. Oh my god! I rewound that like 10 times. Just be like, no, that can't be what he does. And he's like, yep, no,
Yeah.
yeah, nailed it.
Yeah.
It's like, couldn't do anything about that guy, but I made him take his own life. Holy shit, Ken! Holy shit!
I'm pretty sure we mentioned that he's just a genocidal maniac.
He
Genocide?
is genocidal, homicidal, all of the above. He's not a well child.
He just wants to kill everyone.
Does. And then they take him home.
Yeah.
Where he
And
then
then
pretends to be like, stupid again.
yeah, he has
Or-
his face looked like he's having a stroke.
He does not look well.
No, I suppose that's probably how you know how you fooled the wardens.
I suppose, like he does look as if he's been doped up on a significant amount of medication. Then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take you to the Geralians, Barakan." He's like, "No, Ken," and then the episode ends.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Ugh.
Anyway,
That guy killed himself under my watch.
after that episode, she'll probably say, "Yeah, we don't really condone those actions."
No, it's just wild.
It's just
like-
fucking usual.
The thing is like I don't even know that that's like what the intention was or anything behind it, but it is such a weird thing. Like, it's like a fan edit that somebody put together. It's just crazy. Anyway, episode 24, an invitation to the robot club. This is a quick episode. This is real quick.
Real quick.
Oh, it was even quicker. Barakan sees a pretty robot. Pretty robot gives Barakan an invite to get Chargeman Ken and his sister to come to this location. They go to the location. It's an abandoned house and graveyard. And then a hole in the ground opens up and swallows them up. And it turns out it's a robot brought to them by the Geralians to get them into the usual thing. The usual thing happens.
Yeah. So yeah, they fall down the trip, and then zombies appear at the crypts out the tombs and that,
Yep.
but they turn out to be just Julians anyway. There's
What were they
also
doing in the
one.
ground?
Oh, dude, you know,
They're just committing to the bit.
it could be like the Julians are like Locusts and Gears of War, man. They've always been there.
Oh, Emergence Day.
Yeah,
Damn,
emergency. Maybe it's oh shit. You think that's where
you've
they got?
discovered something.
You think that's where they got the influence for Gears of War?
Well, here's a weird thing. Someone you and I know,
Hmm.
uh, they know somebody who has a partner, and her name is Karen,
Uh huh.
and I think it's spelled the same way as this Karen,
Yeah.
Caron.
Yeah.
I might bleep that.
So we both know. And they
I'm
know.
gonna cut this. Steven, cut this in the edit. Colin, cut this in the edit.
Yeah, okay.
Um, but yeah, they're in the graveyard. Stupid things happen. There's a topless zombie for some reason. He murders them all, and
Yep.
that's it. Whole
Yeah.
episode.
All saggy breasts, topless.
It's very weird.
It wasn't really because it was a Julian. And then the other one appears and kind of comes down and goes cha 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 cha, and he drops his gun and
Oh,
then he uses his
that's
groin blast.
he does. But the thing
Yeah,
goes, "Ka, ka, ka, ka,
yeah,
ka,
yeah,
ka, ka, ka," and he's just stood there going, uh, and then waits for his groin laser to fire up.
yeah. He hasn't used that in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while,
It's been a while,
but he wins. Great success.
shockingly.
Yet another victory for Chargeman Ken.
Yeah, end of episode, right?
End of episode. And
Yeah.
now, our last episode for the day. Save young Yuichi,
Oh, the arsonist.
the arsonist, who is an arsonist because his parents hate him.
They're just nasty parents. They're a
They just
dysfunctional
established that.
family.
Yeah, they established that in the first 10 seconds, where he like lights a fire and then looks as if he's having some sort of sexual arousal. Uh, and then it cuts to him like crying over his toys as his parents yell, and then slam the door. And then it cuts back to him starting yet another fire. And then people are like, "Hey, you should come back here tomorrow night and start fires for us." He's like, "Okay, I guess."
Oh, no. So I think he lights the first fire, and then you get a kind of backstory for him for like why he's
Yep.
done that.
And then it
And
cuts to
then
the next fire.
he kind of goes back, and then I think the people come along and don't say, "It's like thanks for doing this for us, but you can't never stop now." Mahahaha!
Yeah.
You're going to continue lighting fires for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you better be back here at the same place. Meet us here tomorrow night to start more fires. And he's like, "Yeah, okay." But then he has a change of conscience and apparently knows Chargeman Ken.
Yeah,
Uh, he's like, "Hey, I don't want to start fires anymore. I'm sorry, Ken."
yeah,
He's like, "Yeah, okay. I think we can fix that for you."
yeah. And then so Ken disguise himself as Yuichi.
Yuichi.
Yuichi. And
Is
the
it right?
aliens and the two monsters don't really understand it. And then they come along and then they shoot like a flamethrower on a
A
building
blue
and
flamethrower.
yeah, on a building that says, "Why is it not burning?" And then Ken says something along the lines of, "Oh, all these buildings are protected from fire or something."
Yeah, he's like, "These are buildings are all made with a fireproof coating," and you're like, "But it should show some signs of flames, right, Ken?"
No. I mean,
No, apparently not.
apparently not. And then he's like, "Wait, you're Chargeman Ken?" It's like, "Yeah."
Yep.
I was like, "Oh," and then he turns to aliens and then he shoots them.
Does. And then he's standing with Karen and Barakan at the end with the parents and Yuichi, and he's like, "We should be friends from now on, Yuichi." And he goes, "Yes, and we'll try to be better parents."
Yeah, and he's fixes all the family troubles because the
Yep.
father has actually been the wife too in it.
Yeah, he was. He smacked her and yelled at her and called her a bitch.
Yeah, and he was there outside, and they're like, yeah, dysfunctional family, and just by the
Little do
fact
they
that
know that's the last time they were going to see Yuichi.
maybe
I mean, we're never going to see him again in this show. My suspicion is it's very similar to Erased, and that kid is no longer here.
You think? Or what was the? Was it Ghost Stories that had something similar where you had like random people appear and they would never ever appear again, and it was made comment by the characters in the show.
That's right. I think that did happen.
Yeah, just because they broke out of the script. So it's like,
Well, that's another 5 episodes of Chargeman Ken down. And that brings us to the end of another episode of this bonus season of Who's That Anime. We'll be back next week to talk about more Chargeman Ken. So,
yeah,
that being said, you've been listening to Who's That Anime, an anime podcast. You can find us where you find all good podcasts, and our home is at anchor.fm/Who's That Anime. If you like what we do, leaving a review is a really good way to help us out. If your podcatching software lets you do that, then a review is awesome. If you've already reviewed us or can't review us because of what you listen to us on, then it would be super cool if you could tell a friend about us. We also have a Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Who's That Anime, where we post the episode releases and the occasional meme. We have a Discord channel. You can find a link to that in the show notes. We have a YouTube channel, youtube.com, searching for @Who's That Anime. That's where Colin painstakingly puts together all of the video versions of these episodes. We also have the RSS feed for the podcast on that channel now too, so you can find us there too if you want to listen to podcasts on YouTube. We sometimes like to play video games. So Colin at twitch.tv/couchfuel and myself at twitch.tv/hailpayman. And you can find archives of all of the different live streams we've done for those over the years at youtube.com by searching for @couchfuel or @hailpayman.
yeah,
That's us.
yeah. I was going to say something smart and intelligent.
No doubt.
Yeah, I forgot it. Literally, I was going to say
It's gone now.
it's gone now. Oh man, it was smart, witty, intelligent. All the things. Like Barakai.
He is known to be that character.
Yeah. Fuck. I hate when that happens. It's a sign of old age.
Oh well.
Yeah. On that note, we'll see you next week for once, like we said, more Chargeman Ken. So
yeah,
same anime place, same anime time, and continue to charge forward into the charging world of Charging Ken, man.
Charge and go.
Charge and go. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.